Hello people, this video I want to take a look at how JDG did a bit of a bot gap in this game against top esports, and yeah, we'll just start right at the beginning where you can briefly still see on the little map placing a little ward in the middle bush, and the reason why that's important is in this lane, Iris Nautilus are the ones who want to all in because they have the meat jump, while top esports want to just take the push with their double range and get level 2 first so that they can't be all in. And the reason this ward is important for that is as long as the Nautilus can chill here, it's really hard for top esports to access the wave easily once it meets here. And you'll see why that is the case in a second. But firstly, top esports also know this, and so what they do is they try to enter lane early. And so they will actually end up meeting here and taking a short trade. And here, two interesting things happened. Firstly, Missing is going to start W, and that's turns out to be really nice for this situation because he gets a big shield and also the damage part from the W, so that's really useful in the trade. And then secondly, Mako is here forced to use his ward in this bush, and this is really, really bad for him. The reason that's bad for him is because this permits Missing to now just walk into that middle bush he wants so bad, and top esports can't really contest it. Well, they could use Jackilow's ward as well, but if they ward this too, then they risk just having no vision here and getting ganked by Xin, which is why they don't want to do that. So Missing just walks up now because he knows he can, and they have no vision in here. And then obviously Melio can't face check because if he tries, then he just gets smacked by the Nautilus auto W trade again. So top esports are now forced to give some space to Ruler in this lane, which they really don't want to do because they want to get level 2. They try to contest the bush, but they can't really because melee jump just outstats range jump if stand in their face. Jackalow takes some bad spacing here, and Ruler just manages to hit the wave enough to the point that the wave is at least even on second wave. When the wave is even on second wave and you have melee jump, you can always get the level 2 first, because Nautilus has the share item and Melio has the reverse item, so you can use the execute to clear the wave faster than enemy team. And again, top esports and JDG both know this, so top esports starts respecting them here, and Ruler and Missing are now left with lane control. Now let's check out what that means for Maggie. So Maggie initially was under the impression, I assume, that his bot lane would not be having Cryo because, well, double range. So he clears Raptors, Crocs, Red with either the intention of ganking bot after, anticipating that there's going to be the wave here, or with the intention of just passing to top, where there's also a very snowbally top lane matchup that would be nice to impact. But now that his bot lane has the push, he can actually look for a bot invade because his bot lane can follow, and they should also win 3v3s again because of the Nautilus melee jump makes you win fights. So he's gonna go into Tian's jungle, thinking that his bot lane has his back, which they actually don't, turns out. So we'll start fighting here, and as you can see, bot lane of JDG are kind of starting to move, but not really because they want to get the entire wave under, and also in a second, Jackalow is gonna end. So what ends up happening here is they get a kill on Jackalow, but in the process, sell out Maggie, and he gets murdered by Tian. Now we still get some more fights here. First of all, Tian goes ham because he sees two halfway people and goes in, tries to get something, but he just gets fisted in the process. Ruler keeps chasing. And now both sides are in this standoff where they both kind of think they can win the fight, Tian versus Q, and now Missing's like, yo, this guy's got no Q, I'm just gonna flash on his ass, and he has no damage to kill us. Nope. Yeah, but he hits Mako instead, so now Tian can go back in, and now check this out. This is a really nice Q by Tian. So Tian knows Ruler has flash up, right? And his Q is coming back up, or is back up, or A, as you can see. And so where can Ruler realistically flash? If Ruler flashes here, then he gets run down by Tian with red buff, because he's still right next to him. If he flashes here, then he gets murdered by Jackalow. So the only realistic angles of flash that he has is towards here, right? So look at this small movement by Tian, where he tries to position himself in a way behind Ruler, so that he could possibly predict all of Ruler's flash angles. As you can see right now, he's already sort of able to predict this one while still hitting Ruler in his current position. But he just moves ever so slightly to the top right before throwing his Q, so that when Ruler actually does flash, he doesn't flash the Q at all and still gets hit and killed, which was just a nice micro thing to point out. But now look what happened to the game. Even though top esports traded 3 for 2. Ruler is still with 2 kills. Jakilov has 9 CS and 0 kills, and he is on a longsword, so he's really, really behind, while Tian is really, really ahead. Now, what does this mean for the game? Well, first of all, if you're really ahead as a jungler, then what you want to do is you want to match every single play of the enemy jungle. Why? Because, well, you're a lot stronger than them, so technically every play that you make against them directly, you're going to win out, because, well, you're stronger than them, right? With the exception of bot lane, because that's where Ruler is at. So Ruler will now have permanent bot control, and that means Maggie should play around bot lane and never touch the other 2 lanes, because if he ever plays the other 2 lanes, then he should get matched by Tian and just always lose those. So that's pretty much what happens for a time from here on out. We're gonna just quickly cruise through Ruler, and Missing Owls are gonna get some more 2v2 kills. We don't really get to see it, but if they just get a double kill, you can check the replay, I guess, but not really that much going on. Jakilov just a bit tilted, I think. And they just keep pushing the lead for now. Maggie doesn't do anything crazy, Tian doesn't do anything crazy. Yeah, again, you can see Tian trying to hover mid lane here because, well, Cream is on his slow push, and so Maggie could technically try to gank this, and if he were to, then the Lee Sin with Iron Spike in comparison to Doran's. Oh, so the Doran's would be more than enough to win the 2v2, especially with the wave, so playing towards this win condition, but Maggie for now is just focusing on bot lane as he should, because again, they will win every single fight in bot lane. So yeah, they try, they don't get it, and this is the one counterplay method that top esports still has towards JDG. They can force mid prio and then move the mid lane down to bot to make sure that their bot is safe, and like try to make a play if JDG overextend, but JDG respect in this case. And now Cream's timer is over, so he has to go back to mid lane, make sure this prio doesn't get out of hand. And now they can try to bully bot lane again. Try to take a fight. Yeah, for now there's not going to be much more happening. I think they get one more kill onto Mako here. And now, like, you can see the dynamic we talked about earlier is just amplified. Right now Ruler has 5 kills. He's gonna base and have a huge item advantage onto Jakilov, who's also being forced to base here and miss a wave, which makes the disadvantage even worse. And while Ruler is basing, he decides to hover up to top afterwards because there's a herald up, and JDG are in a position to play for it, so he moves in case top esports contest, which they don't, so once he sees that, he moves toward bot lane, and Maggie gets to pick up this herald. Now the throw part happens when Maggie decides to use this herald, because I think JDG make a pretty big mistake here in conceptually in how they try to use it. So in line with what we talked about earlier, JDG has a really, really fed Varus. So what in my opinion they should do is just crack this bot tier 1 with the herald, and then move the Varus to mid lane, move him to top lane, let him take all the 15 plates on the map, and then GG well played. Top esports just can't really answer that with their comp, because they don't have enough range engage to get onto a lethality Varus. What Maggie does instead, though, after covering the spot play, is, I believe, he eventually looks for the herald on the mid tier 1, which, for the same reason that we elaborated earlier, is not something he should be able to do, because again, Tian is still ahead of Maggie, and so if he matches this play, then they will always win the 2v2, and that's exactly what happens. Yagao takes a slight overstep, gets hit by Tian Q, and then well, they just get run down because Lee Sin too strong. Also, Cream gets a really nice cancel onto Yagao, which is cool. They chase this down, get a double kill, and this is part 1 of the throw. Part 2 of the throw is Ruler being like, oh shit, my bot lane just got double killed, or my mid jungle duo rather, and so I'm the carry, I am supposed to do something. Or, well, if I was him, that's what I would be thinking, and that also I think somewhat explains this play here, which is very reckless and risky. If they had Maggie here, then this would be a free 2v2 dive, but well, they don't, so it's just risky, and Jakilov and Mako outplay it pretty well, so they don't die on the initial dive, missing dice, and now again Ruler gets a bit greedy. He could just walk out here through this and maybe blast cone, although he might get caught by Lee Sin still, but still way less risky than what he's about to do because all the minions are dead, so right now he's just gonna get tower aggroed and murdered by Jakilov, who also still has support from Mako ult, and now he gives away a huge shutdown. And now we can see, well, previously, before both of these incidents, JDG had a comfortable 2k gold lead plus Herald in their pocket, which should be another, like, what, 300, 400 gold, depending how much they get out of it. At the end of this whole sequence, the game is even again. Or, like, almost even. And yes, JDG did still end up winning this game, I believe. But this is just really nice to show how eventually every team can make mistakes, even the best in the world. And, well, it's just another argument for never surrender, right? If even this beast of a team can make strategic mistakes and throw the game by it, then why wouldn't the people in your solo queue be able to?